Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make a granny square, and I'm going to be teaching you how to connect them using the join as you go method. It makes connecting granny squares super simple, and you can do them as you're creating them. So without further ado, let's get into it. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using this Impeccable yarn by Loops and Thread. It's just a size 4 medium weight yarn. And to pair with it, I'm just going to be using this 4mm hook from Crochet Society. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. I'm also going to be using some white yarn, and this is the yarn I'm going to use to join our granny squares together in the continuous join as you go. So just have whatever color you want to join. You can also just join it with the same color. You don't have to change the color. You can use all the same color, or you can change it up. So whatever you want to do, but I'm going to use white to connect mine. So let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to go through first is I'm going to make our first granny square. Now, if you have never made a granny square before, I will link a video in the description box below that you can watch, because I'm going to go through this demonstration a little bit quicker. So if you're unsure, definitely watch that video first. So we're going to just do our magic ring. And our whole first row is going to work into that magic ring. So to begin, we're going to chain 3. And we're going to place 2 double crochets in the ring. Like that. Chain 1, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets. We're going to do 1 chain, and now we're going to close our magic ring. Now we're going to slip stitch to the first, or to the third chain that we made at the very beginning to close off round 1. This is what we should be looking like. Now we need to slip stitch to get to this chain space. So slip stitch into this chain here, and to this one here, and into the chain space so that we're in that chain space. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to place 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space that we made. Now because this is a corner, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to place 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and we're going to head over to the next chain space and place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, a chain 1, and 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. 3, and a chain 1. So now we've completed half of our second row. So we're going to continue on to the next chain space. We're going to place 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we're going to head into our last chain space and put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make another slip stitch into the 3rd chain that we made at the very beginning, that top chain there, and that's row 2 complete. Now if you're going to continue on with the same yarn, just keep your yarn attached. I'm going to change the color of my yarn, so I'm going to cut my yarn in now. And I'm just going to tie this off. Now I'm going to grab my new color, which is the white for me. I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm just going to find one corner of my project. So I'm just going to choose this corner here. And I'm just going to insert my hook and pull through to attach my new color. Now to begin row 3, we're going to chain 3. And we're going to place 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1, 3 double crochets in that same chain space since this is a corner. 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're going to head into this next chain space right here and place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 into the corner. We're going to place 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 more in the same chain space. 2, 3, chain 1, 3 into the next chain space, 3, chain 1, and into our corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more in that corner space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now into this middle chain space here, we're going to place 3 more, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're going to work into this last corner here, 3 double crochets, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we have 1 more chain space to work into right here. So we're going to place 3 double crochets in that chain space. Chain 1 and slip stitch into the top chain, the 3rd chain that we made in the initial. Want to get through there. There we go. And then we're just gonna cut our yarn. And there is our first granny square made. Now the white outer rim of our granny square is what we're going to use to attach to our next granny square. So what I've done is I've created the first 2 rows of 2 more granny squares already off camera, and we're going to connect these two to this one right here, like so, with the white border. So what we're going to do with our second granny square is we're going to take our next square and our white yarn again, and we're going to go into the corner just the same as we did before. So we're going to go into the corner here, we're going to chain 3, we're going to place 2 single crochets here, chain 1 and 3 double crochets back into that same chain space. So this is all kind of looking the same so far. We're going to chain 1, go into this next chain space, three double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, into the corner chain or chain 1 space, 3 double crochets again, 1, 2, 3. Now this is where we're gonna change it up a bit. So instead of doing 1 chain like we would normally do and continue on for the corner, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab our other granny square and we're gonna pick a corner. So we'll pick this corner here. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Now instead of a chain, what we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch into the corner of our first granny square that we made. So we're going to insert our hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and pull it through. And that slip stitch is going to take the place of our chain that we would have normally done. Now we're going to continue on like we normally would into this green square. We're going to place 3 more double crochets into this chain space to create that corner that we were working on before. So 1, 2, 3. Now again, instead of making a chain like we normally would to move into the next chain space, we're going to find the next chain space on our pink square. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through to make a slip stitch that will be instead of our chain. Now we're going to work into this chain space on the green square with our 3 double crochets that we would be completing anyways. So 1, 2, 3. Again, no chain here. We're gonna find the next chain space on the pink granny square and we're gonna make a slip stitch through there. Now we're gonna work into our corner of our green granny square with 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do our last connection on our pink square right now into the corner of the pink granny square. We're going to do 1 more slip stitch and then we're going to continue on in the green corner with 3 more double crochets. 2, 3. Now this is what we're looking like so far. So we have our 2 granny squares connected and you can see they're connected by those slip stitches that we made and it's a good connection. You're not going to be separating that at all. So now that we have connected to the one side of our granny square, what we're going to do is we're going to continue along the rest of this granny square like normal. So instead of doing the slip stitch, we're going to do our chain, and then we're going to work 3 double crochets into this chain space like this. 2, 3. We're going to chain 1 and then into the corner with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more into that same corner stitch. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We're going to finish off here in the middle chain 1 space from the previous row. 2, 3. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do our slip stitch right into the top chain from the previous row that we made. Cut our yarn. And there is our 2 granny squares connected. Just like that. Now we'll connect one more. So once again, we're going to make a slip knot on our hook from our white yarn. And we're going to start in our yellow granny square in the corner. We're just going to make a slip knot to attach our white yarn. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to make 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 into this chain space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 into this chain space here in the corner. We're going to do our 3 double crochets. Now this is where we're going to start our connection to our granny squares. So no chain here like normal. We're going to grab our granny square and we're going to find a corner. We're going to insert our hook through the corner of our, we're going to attach the pink one, insert our hook and create a slip stitch into that corner. We're going to place 3 double crochets back into the yellow granny square like normal into that corner stitch to finish the corner. 2 and 3. No chain. Find the next chain space in the pink granny square. Create a slip stitch. Now 3 double crochets into our yellow chain space. 1, 2, and 3. No chain. Back into the pink granny square, chain 1 space right here. Make a slip stitch. Now we're going to create our 3 double crochets in our yellow corner. So 1, 2, 3. No chain. Now what we're going to do here, this is what we're looking like so far. Now for the corner of the yellow to connect, instead of going into the pink corner, we're going to go kitty corner into this green corner. And that's just going to kind of make it straight and pull it so it stays in that square shape. So we're going to sneak over to the chain space in the green. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and create a slip stitch like normal. Yarn over and create 3 more double crochets in the corner of the yellow. 1, 2, 3. Now we're all connected on that side. So now we're going to continue on the yellow just like normal. So we're going to do our chain 1 and we're going to place 3 double crochets in that yellow granny square in the chain 1 space. 3, chain 1, into the corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, 3 more in that chain space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We're going to go into this last chain space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and a slip stitch into the 3rd chain that we made at the beginning. We'll cut our yarn. And there we have 3 granny squares attached. Now you can just kind of pull the edges. They just sometimes need a little tug to make them all even. But that is how you attach as you go. And as you can see, the connection is quite strong. You're not going to be able to pull it apart, but it also gives your blanket or whatever you're making a lot of give to it. So it's going to have stretch. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable, I find, than it would be if you sewed all of it together. So that is how you join as you go for granny squares. Let us know in the comments down below if this was helpful for you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, we hope you have a lovely day and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!